You go ahead, no, it's yours.
We're doing the right way. We're here today on a deputation to try and secure funding for the North Edinburgh News based in the Greater Poulton area. It gives the local people a voice, and we can find out what other groups are campaigning for, and plus local children like to see their achievements in the North Edinburgh News. This is something they wouldn't be able to get with a tabloid paper, and it's really important. It's been going for 30 years, and it secons students from Telford College in journalism, so therefore it's workable, and I think it's really important that we keep the paper going.
We're here to stick up for the North Edinburgh News and try and keep the North Edinburgh News, because it's one of the best ways of informing everybody in the whole of the Greater Poulton area. And it'll be, if it goes, I don't know how the likes of Royce and Warderburn, Drylaw, I don't know how they'll be kept informed.
Stay up there either.
Do you want me to hold it with you?
It's the biggest resource for training, opportunities, college opportunities for young people in the whole of the 4th ward, to be honest, and it's ridiculous that they're cutting the service.
It tells us what's happening in the college, like courses and stuff like that, and seeing what's going on.
Hopefully we get our voices heard and they can change their minds, and that's all I can hope for, to be honest.
You need to get a ticket down first to see you.
You can go first if you want.
I'm looking for the
redundancies, but there is in principle much to complement itself in that budget, and we do welcome their conversion to the stance our group has taken on so many issues in the past. I so second the Conservative amendment.
It's now 3:15, the deputation was to be heard at 3 o'clock. However, we're told by official that it is running slightly late, so we hope to get our views across very soon, and hope that the councillors at least listen to us today.
But there is in principle much to complement itself in that budget, and we do welcome their conversion to the stance our group has taken on so many issues in the past. I so second the Conservative amendment.
We're here to try and fight to keep our local newspaper up in the North Edinburgh News. I've lived in between Royston and Grantham my whole life, and way back in the 80s it was the Commune that was the first local free newspaper, and it's progressed onto the North Edinburgh News now. It's so informative. I work in a youth centre, and all the achievements that the young people do, we try and get their face in the paper, and really chuffed when they see they're selling the paper. So I think it'd be a real sin for to shut a paper like that when you see many local people read the paper, they put so many things in it themselves, and for to let parents in that see that their kids do something. Fingers crossed that we can do something the day and we do get to keep the NEN open.
My name's Mary Burnside. I'm the editor of the North Edinburgh News, and I'm here today because we've just lost our funding. They're proposing to cut the Fairer Scotland funding, which is our sole source of funding, and without that the newspaper can't continue. Well, I'm hoping that the support that we've got, there's a separate campaign from the local community, and I'm here with our directors, and I'm hoping that the council will listen to what we have to say and agree to implement some kind of funding programme so that we can continue and allow us to develop the plans that we had. The newspaper's been going for over 30 years. It was established by local people over 30 years ago, and it's an inherent part of community life in North Edinburgh. People really rely on the newspaper to find out what's going on, to use it as a campaigning platform, and also to interact with the council, with the neighbourhood partnerships and with each other.
I'm a board member for the North Edinburgh News.
also live in the area and have a business in North Edinburgh. I'm here today as deputation to try and convince the councillors that the funding for the North Edinburgh News is well spent. We're looking at convincing them that the North Edinburgh News, although it doesn't fit into any of their boxes, helps transcend all those boxes. It is a means that the rest of the organisations within the North Edinburgh area can help promote their services, can help get participation in those projects, and people can find out what's going on in their area. I think one of the key things that I think is important is that the North Edinburgh News helps to integrate new people who are coming into the community. There's a waterfront regeneration area that is bringing in upwards of 20,000 people, and how are they going to find out about what's going on? And this newspaper goes through their doors. It helps to integrate the old and the new, and lessens that sense of feeling solitude or different things that you come in. So it can help them do that, I think, and I think that's what we should be aiming to do, is integrate that community, and North Edinburgh News is a tool to do that. I think that's great.
I've been involved with NEN since March of last year. We're all here today as a deputation to try and influence the decision that's being taken by the council. It's been recommended that our funding be cut. I'm a strong believer in what the NEN stands for and what it's achieved over the past 30 years. A new board was appointed last spring, and we've sought to modernise the NEN, make it more efficient, and so that it can continue to provide the support to the local community.
Why do you think we should keep the North? You think it's important to keep the North Edinburgh News, and why?
Well, I've always contributed to the NEN since I've been elected, and I think it's really important. NEN's a local communication. You know, the only alternative is the council's Outlook magazine, which is a rag, which has nothing in it from local people. I think at least the NEN gives us an opportunity to talk about the good things that happen in North Edinburgh, and there are loads of them, but it's only through the NEN that we find out the positive things and the good news stories. And I think it's also really important because it's an opportunity for a lot of people who might not get out of the house to find out what's happening in and about the community, find out what's happening in your street, in the local community centre. So for that reason, I'll be supporting Saving the NEN and Saving the NEN campaign that Anna's friends are running just now. Students an opportunity to learn how to make a paper, do photography, media, marketing, all these things. That's surely a good, you know, so students are, you're not just sitting in a college pretending to make things, you're actually making one. It's going out to 35,000.
You're out to the community places as well, it's going out to the community.
And how cheesy would you be if you were a young person in Grand Youth Centre, you went to college, and then you sitting in your house with your mum or dad, and in comes NEN, you're saying, I wrote that stuff, I took that picture, and it's our NEN rather than being...
That's right.
So that's the whole idea, I think, behind the NEN trying to work with college. Most local young people can get a job and an opportunity to make their local paper rather than it being like the council rag, which we have no input to whatsoever.
That's right. Now we're just ready to go in for the council to hear our deputation to save the North Edinburgh News. We've been hanging around for about 3.5 hours, waiting on the council approving the budget, and now it's time for us to go in and get our deputation, and hopefully we can save the North Edinburgh News.
Are you excited?
Yes. I'm excited and I'm quite emotional because I'm frightened that they don't save the North Edinburgh News, and that's more important than anything else up here today.
Jacket. Cool, thanks. Go on upstairs.
Oh, we need that, right?
We'll decide.
We'll decide.
My brother knows better.
You asked me to get
tabloids, whereas the NEN provides a platform for both positive and local residents' views. Councillors and politicians from all political parties advertise their surgery times and their achievements in the NEN. Local residents groups are dependent on the NEN as to what their various groups are campaigning about.
What we've been doing with the students at Telford College, the journalism students, and we're in a difficult position because the staff hours have been cut, but we've continued to work with the journalism students. All of them are wearing bylines in the paper, and all the students who went on to graduate, 2 of them got jobs in the media-related industry, and the others went on to Napier University to do the journalism degree course there.
I find that it helps to integrate into that area that it looks at services available, events available, and most importantly it helps to address the negative perceptions of that area of the city. You've got a huge redevelopment area going on, you've got lots more residents moving in, you're looking at 20,000 new people, and it helps them establish themselves, attract investment, because apart from the North Edinburgh News, there is very little positive information about that area of the city, and I think that's important to address. Thank you. I think we've said what we can say, and we've got as many messages across as we possibly can, and we just have to wait to see whether that's made a difference to the decisions. I think what was shocking, and I will say, is to receive a piece of paper before we went into the delegation that announces Council regrets that neighbourhood partnerships no longer have a formal role to play in relation to important decisions affecting their community. I think that was a shock and a surprise to each and every one of us to go in there, and why give the neighbourhood partnerships the opportunity to decide whether certain organisations should apply funding and then completely disregard that? The whole process is flawed in that case.
So what did you think about that?
I thought we answered all the questions and more. But sometimes you wonder if the decision's already been taken, and no matter what you do, it's never going to be good enough because they don't want communities to have a voice.
I think it went okay, but I think some of the councillors were a bit ignorant when they were just yapping. I noticed the SNP Lib Dem councillors were just talking when people were trying to talk. It's very nervous for local people to come up and do a deputation as it is. Hopefully we've done enough. All the deputations for North Edinburgh have done enough to either secure funding or we'll fight on. This is not the end. This is not the end of the North Edinburgh News, but we'll fight on to keep the paper.